Hello, everyone. Welcome back to FC Speaks, and today we're going to be talking about Marvel versus DC. Which one's better? Which one has better movies, video games, and such? Today, I have Jasper Henley, Harrison Reed, and Tristan Croslin. Tristan Croslin has never seen any of the movies, played any of the games, and we're going to be trying to convince him whether or not what genre he should choose or what movies to watch. We're going to start off talking about Marvel. So I'm going to hand it over to Jasper Henley on some more reasons that he should choose Marvel movies to watch instead of DC.
So, wait, it is true, right? You've never seen anything but like two movies?
Only two.
Only two? That's crazy. Personally,
I don't know how that's possible.
Which two have you watched?
Infinity War and Endgame.
Okay. Wow.
Out of all of them.
Out of all of them, that's the one that you started with. Is the two very in movies. Well, personally, I think Marvel is better because, I just think the movies are just so impactful. They're like the first Avenger movie kind of kicked off superhero movies. The Iron Man movie was the movie that
kind of defined a generation.
It kind of did. 2008 Iron Man.
Yeah.
That kind of, Robert Downey Jr., that kind of started off every superhero movie to begin with. So, do you have, a favorite superhero or anything like that?
Probably Batman.
Batman. So DC. Goodness.
Batman.
So, have you heard of, the Avengers, though? Do you know any Avengers? So, you know Hulk, Hawkeye, Captain America, Iron Man. So, since you like Batman, what makes you like Batman?
I guess he doesn't really just rely mainly on powers and mainly.
So you got Iron Man, though.
Yeah.
Iron Man is like the Batman of.
Yeah,
brilliant,
he is kind of the
playboy,
option.
Billionaire. So if you probably would like Iron Man, so I would suggest you should watch the Iron Man movie because, it is about a character who was a billionaire and doesn't have any superpowers, but he kind of rely on more of his tech and brilliance and money.
Built his own powers.
Yeah, in a
cave. Yeah,
he didn't
make him in a cave.
He was in
with a box of scraps.
Reed, do you have any comments?
Any comments or additions?
Well, I like Spider-Man. He's pretty cool.
Iron Man is pretty cool. He's one of my favorites.
Pretty cool, yeah. He's Spider-Man was also pretty controversial to the movies in general. I mean, he was the first ever really superhero
that was
movie.
2002.
Yeah,
but
Spider-Man
it wasn't in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, technically, but he is. Stan Lee did make it.
Stanley did make it.
I mean, he's technically
he has pretty good comics.
Yeah, he does have some pretty cool comics.
That's another thing. Not just the movies in general.
Because the movies is not everything about either of these.
Because comic books are a big part. Now, have you ever read comic books, though?
Yeah, I've read. Oh, I thought you were talking to me. Never read.
I don't think I've ever read a single one.
Really?
Wow, you should. They're pretty good.
He doesn't
want to read.
I'm not a big reader myself, but when it comes to comic books, I am a big comic book fan. I'm not a big reader, but comic books is just, I like pictures, And Spider-Man was one that kind of kicked off everything about superhero, because I'm pretty sure Marvel came first. Marvel kind of kicked off the superhero genre, and then DC kind of rolled in behind them.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, Marvel has in my opinion, is more colorful and towards a bit of a lighter audience, maybe a happier kind of audience, because there's
because I feel like when you look at Marvel and DC, there's only about there's only a couple characters in Marvel I think that don't kill, right?
Because
I feel like they don't kill as much as DC.
Yeah, for sure.
It depends.
There's some. If you're looking for nothing as quote unquote brutal or scary, you wouldn't go for DC maybe.
Yeah, I feel like too Marvel's a little bit more. None of it's realistic, but I feel it's more realistic than DC. You don't have some man flying in the sky shooting laser at his eyes.
True,
Like,
true.
it's a little bit less overpowered.
Okay.
Yeah. But in DC, I feel like, well, Batman is a lot more realistic than Tony Stark to me. I mean,
That is very
Stark-
true.
Yeah.
And Batman as like a character is he kind of shows more of like a real depiction of what crime is, because Iron Man fights large alien monsters in a flying suit, and Batman beats criminals on the street that sell drugs to gangs, and he's kind of like an icon of realism inside of this world of completely non-realistic stuff.
Yeah, like when you think of a superhero, you think of Batman.
Yeah, you think of Batman. You think of
Also-
Batman and Spider-Man.
Like a person, like
Yeah.
he said, he never really watched.
Yeah,
the
he's
movies,
never really
Tristan.
watched any of the movies, but he says his favorite superhero is
is
Batman.
Batman.
You know, it kind of shows how influential Batman in himself, without the rest of the universe, is to superheroes in general.
Yeah.
Like how long have Batman movies been being made?
Batman's
Since
movies
the
have been
80s
made in
and
the 80s.
yeah, since the 80s and 90s. And so he kind of, if you, I mean, I will say that Iron Man started the new age
The new
of
age. Like
of,
I feel like
of,
the
of
CGI
movies,
kind of.
the CGI age of explosions,
Mhm.
but Batman kind of started the superhero,
'Cause
the
the
hero
TV
fighting
shows-
crime and TV shows. Yeah, like that was like the 60s
That
when
was-
there was a
yeah.
Batman TV show.
And they were
yeah.
making that.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
were making shows. And that kind of, in my opinion, is pretty influential. Like, that's kind of the first TV show that isn't. And I mean, it's straight out of being black and white, and it was very colorful, and it changed the people's view
Another
of television.
thing is, though, Batman's not the only one. Superman. You know, you think of
Yeah,
superheroes, you
and-
think of
and-
Superman.
You
And
think of-
their
you think
films
of-
are like completely different with their genre, and it has a lot of variety. Like
mhm.
in the Dark Knight trilogy, for example, it's all dark and gritty. But then you boot up a Superman movie, and it's all happy and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
and so
And-
he's
and
saving the
also-
day. Oh, Lois Lane.
Also, the
So that's
like
pretty impressive.
the villains are very psychological, and sometimes that can, in my opinion,
Take a bigger.
it can really open you to like if you look at The Dark Knight, like that movie is so psychologically, like it's so deep into the psychology of the Joker. Like, he's just nuts. I mean, and there aren't many
And he can't
villains.
really, like, fight, though. He's not like all like when you think of villains, most of people
Yeah,
might think of big
yeah.
and strong.
Yeah,
He's
most
not
of them
really-
can beat up Batman, but like not the Joker. Joker's
Joker can
very
take a-
and the Riddler. The
Riddler.
Riddler can't
Oh,
take
yeah,
on
bro, he's
Batman.
good.
And all of those characters are just they're more than you might say a superhero villain. They're more than that. They make you like in the newest Batman movie, you're trying to solve the mystery yourself while you're watching, and it's very enticing. It makes you very invested, you know. And also, I mean, if you were going to look for a happy kind of movie set with lots of comedy and laughter, I would steer you towards Marvel. But if you're looking for something a bit more serious, maybe, or a bit more like something that would catch your attention and make you want to, say, solve a mystery, or say root so deeply against the bad guy, like that's all you know he's the bad guy, like Thanos in Marvel, he has a point.
He does have a point.
He has
that
a
the world
point.
is-
But
Destroying
the
half the
villains
world is
in-
good.
Yeah, destroying the world.
But then, like,
But the villains in DC,
Dark Side is not more
Yeah.
having a point. He's just more. trying
Dark
to get
Side
that
is
negative.
just
Trying to get
power
power.
hungry. And I mean, either way, that
I mean, something that DC understands is sometimes we just want a mustache twiddling generic villain. We don't want someone who we can root for. We don't want another hero to fight against. We want a villain.
Someone
Yeah.
that we know
And-
who the villain is.
And I mean, off the side of Batman and DC, I mean, Superman is also so influential, and I mean, he's almost like not just changed the view of TV, but also like the view of pop culture in general, like culture. Like people think of bum 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 bum.
So-
bum.
I feel like we've talked about Marvel. We've talked about DC.
Yeah.
Now, what are
yeah.
y'all's
Yeah.
opinions? Lucas, what do you think is your...
I, as like personally, as myself, I enjoy DC as of like everything, like games and
animated shows.
and movies. I enjoy them better because, especially in the recent years, in the past maybe 2 or 3 years, the Marvel movies have kind of fell off.
I do.
They have not been
Yeah.
very good, and the TV
They're
shows
working at it.
have been a little cheesy, and the effects have been a little off for the budget that they have. I mean, it's Disney. I feel like all of their effects should be perfect, but they're not, and
I mean,
it's a little bit lackluster in the
Now,
past few
about
movies.
Reed, what do you think?
yeah. I feel like a lot. I'm more of a DC guy because while Marvel is good, as Lucas was saying, a lot of movies have kind of fallen off lately. Like
Now,
I watched this new movie called The Blue Beetle and Fears recently,
Blue Beetle. Was
Yeah.
good.
and the ending felt kind of villain felt kind of forced. Like it was some cyborg guy.
The DC
wearing
the
red.
DC movies have
and,
not
yeah.
hit as
But-
strong as the Marvel movies because
But-
Blue Beetle was a DC movie.
No,
and
it was a
yeah,
Marvel thing.
It was
DC.
DC.
DC was.
Oh.
Yeah,
DC
Blue
is
Beetle
Blue
was
Beetle.
DC.
Okay, I thought it was
Um,
Marvel.
Yeah, no, Blue Beetle. Was DC.
And DC has not done as good of a job with their movies. Like not necessarily like they had in my opinion the best Superman that they could have ever had.
And they kind
and
of
now
threw
he's
him away,
gone.
though. They threw him away, though.
Yeah,
That's the
they've
thing. I
thrown
feel like
they've
DC
thrown
has
Henry
thrown
Cavill away.
away their movie
Yeah.
characters. kinda
They
away.
had it. They had a good foundation, and just
Personally, I like
spit
Ben
on it.
Affleck.
Ben
Yeah.
Affleck was
I thought he
not
was a
bad.
good
He was not
Batman.
bad. He was a good Batman.
I feel like he kind of like, when you think of Batman, I feel like you kind of think of, I feel like he had the best physique for sure.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like,
he like whenever you think of a of a Batman picture, you think of kind of Ben Affleck. You don't think of the newer Batman with his
and
big
they had
jawline.
a good, they had like, Wonder Woman.
Wonder
was
Woman
good.
had a
Yeah.
now the newest Wonder Woman movie was was
No,
rough.
yeah, that was,
That
that was
rough.
bad. The first one
Yeah.
was good. But
So
like,
what do you think? You know, I know that you're probably a Marvel guy.
I will admit, I will be Marvel now. I kind of grew up, I'm
Yeah.
still growing up, but Spiderman kind of take a big talk.
Yeah.
Like has a deep in my heart,
Yeah.
with Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom
Mhm.
Holland, and I just feel like the first ones to do it, like for shows, was Batman and the DC. But for Marvel, I feel like the movies, the Iron Man, and then you had the Captain America movie, and they all came together for the Avengers. I just
Mhm.
felt like with Loki, I feel like the character dynamics and like their story,
They do build on each character a lot.
I do like that build on each character.
Now-
Now, Tristan, I feel like I think we've talked about DC.
We've gave you our pitches.
Yeah, we gave you our
What-
pitches about Marvel and DC.
Yeah,
Now,
what do you
Also,
think
DC
you?
has better games.
Yeah, they do have those Arkham games,
Spider-Man games though.
but Tristan, what do you prefer?
I might have a bit of a personal bias, as I've definitely done more with DC,
Mhm.
playing the first Lego Batman game.
Oh yeah,
You have played a game though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
But I prefer more of kind of the dark story. So I
Mhm.
think
Mhm.
DC is better.
Yeah, it's a good choice. It's a good choice.
I
Well,
feel like it's not more. It's on an opinion.
Yeah, it's
It depends on who
very
you are. If
it's
you're more of
it's
a
very
dark
much
person,
on
you're gonna
what
like
audience
DC.
it's going to.
Yeah, it's going
And
to.
honestly, in the end, it is all the
All on
viewer's
your
opinion.
It's the viewer's
We
opinion.
our opinions. I mean, they don't really matter in the end.
In the end.
But
It's not
it
like-
is
Don't
it
take
is a
up the
fun
whole
topic to
world.
talk about.
It's a fun
It's not
topic.
like Marvel's gonna look down at us and be
Yeah,
like, "Oh
it's not
my
like
gosh,
Marvel's-
you like DC better."
Yeah, they think DC's better. Oh no, we still are billionaires.
Wipe
like
for their
if
tears
you're-
with money.
If
Yeah.
you're the type of person to like more happy and action and comedy, you can go towards Marvel. But if you're more of a dark person, DC
might
might
go-
fit you more.
yeah.
It just depends on your opinion.
Yeah. Well, I think that's wrapped it up. DC has won over Tristan this time.
Maybe next
Thank
time.
you guys for watching. This has been FC Speaks with me, Jasper Henley, Lucas Stevens, Harrison Reed, and Tristan Croslin. We will see you guys next time. Thank you.